Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video I'll talk about the 0.20.2 update, which is Chocolate Factory Glacite changes and more. First notable change is that they added 2 new employees, Rabbit Uncle, located over here if you want dialogue, and Rabbit Dog, located over here. They give 6 chocolate per second per level and 7 chocolate per second per level respectively. Their existence improves the chocolate production very much, which will help everything related to this update. However, they also added some things that will complicate the stuff. Namely that they increased the Chocolate Factory milestones. They made the last tier require 700 billion all-time chocolate. Most of the tiers remain unaffected, but I think the last 5 now require a lot more. They also added 1 more prestige, which requires 30 billion chocolate in the previous prestige, and also unlocks Divine Rabbits, as well as level 220 to the employees, which, trust me, is very expensive. Speaking of Divine Rabbits, there are 5 of them. They are obtained very rarely from the Hypixel event from collecting eggs, and they give you a slightly bigger bonus than legendary ones do, and they also increase the max level of your employees by 1, meaning if you have all 5, the highest level an employee can be is 225, and having all employees level 225 will generate 6,300 chocolate per second without counting any upgrades. Overall, they added 62 new rabbits, including some mythic ones which have unique abilities. Some of these rabbits, however, have requirements. Those requirements are clearly broken for a unknown reason, and most of the time they are pretty simple. So yeah, you can check them in game. I'll already talk about them in the alpha video. Another thing they added is that they added a really limit to how many items you can buy. Most of these are at 1, except for Supreme Chocolate Bar, which is 500, and Die, which is 4 pieces. They also added some new items, namely Chocolate Factory Barn Skin, Fish Chocolat à la Vapeur, which is steamed chocolate fish, if I remember correctly, which covers Rabbit the Fish, which is very rarely obtained from stray rabbits, which I'll get to later. It unlocks Optifine contact for Hoppity. And last thing here is Coca Bean Fortune, which has 25 levels and doesn't have an annual limit. Stray rabbits rarely spawn in these top 3 rows, and they give you very little chocolate. However, the first stray rabbit that appears after finding a chocolate egg has a chance to be a golden rabbit, which is meant to have a bigger bonus. There are also 2 unique rabbits that are obtained from finding stray ones. One of them is legendary, the other is uncommon, and as I mentioned, there's a special item used to get Optifine contact. Another thing related to Chocolate Shop is Chocolate Shop Milestone, which requires you to spend chocolate in the shop. Spending it on employees or upgrades doesn't count. You need a total of 800 billion chocolate spent in order to get them. Each grants a unique rabbit, and they are in a different order than normally, which means you can get a mythic one pretty easily, which will also give you some SkyBlock experience. I recommend going for this because employees being cheaper is very nice, and it only requires 250 million, while the next one would require 25 billion, which I would probably wait with for some other time. There are also some changes to Glacite tunnels. First of those changes is that when you mine a block with an ability that mines extra blocks, such as Pickaxe ability Picobillus or Efficient Miner, these now count towards the pity system for spawning a mineshaft. However, they are only half as efficient. Another very nice change is that the chance to find a suspicious scrap has been increased heavily, as you can see from the table in front of you now, and they removed all powder from the corpse drops except the one that was guaranteed, which means that rare drops are more common. I bought 3 skeleton keys yesterday, and I still managed to lose 100 million coins, so I probably wouldn't exactly recommend it. Another change is that they added a new enchantment to the bits shop, which is Dr. Phyllite. It goes on bows and works exactly as Champion, except that it's actually more useful because its ability grants the same amount of combat XP bonus, but also gives you a useful stat, as opposed to giving you coins and orbs on a second hit on a mob with a melee weapon, which is not going to be exactly happening. Another change is that they removed the combat attack, which previously prevented you from using SkyBlock menu and all of its features while being in combat, which is now allowed, so you can use all the commands you want, including warp. Another change is that they added a 5th profile slot which requires MVP Plus as well as 2750 SkyBlock gemstones, and that all dice can be applied to all vanilla armor pieces, except of course custom player head, which means you can now put it on all the useful sets that aren't leather, like Divin, I guess, but there's nothing really. And the last useful change is that if you look into your SkyBlock stats, then the critical chance will now go above 100 if it's above 100 instead of being 100, which means it's easier to calculate stuff with Overload, Enchantment or Terminator. So this will be our first video. I hope you like it, and I'll see you some other time.